recording subject.
Hi, I'm Joel, nutritionist in the UK for Cliff Bar. I'm here with Charlie, Declan and Alain from Team Free Speed. Guys, if you could just introduce yourself to the viewers at home. So Charlie, tell us a little bit about some of the things that you've raced and maybe your goals for 2015.
Okay, Charlie Pennington, I race for Team Free Speed. I'm a major in the Gibbon race. That's what I do is my normal job. But yeah, in the interim of not doing that, I do race a bit. Goals for this year, racing Ironman Hawaii, qualified at Ironman Wales end of last year. So yeah, looking forward to that World Championships. The first time I've been, certainly the first time that I would have had a chance to race at that sort of distance for something at that level. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Plenty of experience in the team to guide me on that route.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant, thank you. And Declan?
Yeah, Declan Doyle. I'm a PE teacher, special ed. I've been racing for about 10 years, mostly concentrating on Ironman distance. Goals this year will be Kona once again, hopefully getting close to the top 10 range. Many experiences in Kona, maybe this will be the 6th time racing. And I tend to walk the last part of the marathon, which is a really enjoyable experience. So let's hope things can get better this year. So we're always striving for
running all the way.
Yeah.
I won't be learning from that experience.
We're striving for striding. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Good. And Alain?
Hey, yeah, my name is Alain. As you hear from my accent, I'm a Swiss. I'm a lawyer by profession, but currently I'm doing an MBA at London Business School here in London. I just joined the team with these awesome guys. I did triathlon pretty competitively when I was younger, then had a long period off and just started again last year. And surprisingly, I was pretty good at Ironman Switzerland and qualified for Hawaii, but couldn't go because of the school. And so this year is Ironman Hawaii on my schedule. I hope to qualify in Sweden this year in August, and then I hope to join you in Hawaii and enjoy the beautiful island.
Okay, fantastic. So we've got some amazing experience to draw from. So I just want to ask each of you, if you were, talking to someone, let's assume the person at home is just getting into triathlon, what would be the major factors that you would say has led to you competing at such a high level that you think would be relevant for them to take on board as they get into triathlon?
Yeah, I mean, so probably much like these guys when I started racing 17 years ago. I had a bit of a hiatus, had a bit of a pause whilst I joined Marines. I really, probably the last 6 years is when I've really got into it in a big way. And the key purpose for that, the key reason for that is probably because I was coached. I picked up a coach through a friend, and we meshed really well. And it was just somebody who was able to sort the wheat from the chaff. He didn't perhaps tell me anything I didn't know, but just kind of made it much easier. He took all that decision-making away and made sure I wasn't doing extra junk mileage and just focusing on the stuff that I really need to focus on, rather than just thinking that I need to do lots of things.
Some objective kind of outside voice.
Yeah. Everything has a purpose. Everything was about consistency. Consistent quality rather than anything else. So just making sure it was whatever you were doing, you knew what the purpose of that session was, rather than just going out to run or to bike for whatever it is. Really, really useful. Yeah.
So find a good coach.
Well, yeah, and it doesn't necessarily work for everybody, and it's a really, that relationship is really important. We get on really well. He's a good friend, and for me, that's something I can just talk to about stuff, not just about racing, but life stuff as well. So yeah, very much gets inside my head and kind of works out. Well, you didn't say that. Why did you not tell me that? That's actually as important as what the stuff you did tell me. So yeah. Anyway, it's good. That's what I suggest is it's useful. Yes.
Great. And Declan, your top tip to a novice in triathlon?
I think Charlie hit the nail on the head when he mentioned consistency. From my point of view, the level of progression is very, very quick at the start, and you get a real buzz when you've knocked 20 minutes off your sprint time. But it will slow down. But the consistency element of training every year is really, really important. And one of the magical things about triathlon is you don't have to race any class. You're racing yourself. It's a time trial. Well, if it's marshaled correctly, it's a time trial. Personal time trial gets yourself. So just do what you can within your limits. A lot of people that I've seen who've made major mistakes think they can do more than they can actually do, or they've gone out on a ride and somebody's been riding for 10, 15 years and they've been riding for 2 years, and they try and match pace, and then they get despondent and go, I'm no good at this. As opposed to, I remember riding with guys in my club 10 years ago. This guy's 60, he's dropping me. towards Ironman and thinking this is the most incredible thing ever. I'll never be able to do this. And 5-6 kilometers later, I'm there. So it takes a while. The body takes a long time to adapt, and you look at it as a long-term plan as opposed to that hit next year where you want a podium or whatever.
So
take it
consistency with a bit of patience as well.
Absolutely, and bring your friends into it, make it a lifestyle choice, and it's such a healthy, wonderful sport. With some wonderful people involved. So yeah, don't isolate yourself unless you get to Kona, then you don't need any friends.
So I have a bunch of goals that take you to that point. So make sure you've got some goals. So whatever it is, if it's going to race in Kona or whatever the thing is that you want to achieve, figure out what that is, and then have a bunch of steps to get to that point. So if you're going to go out and say, all right, I'm going to go and do a race at the weekend, I'm going to race 20 minutes quicker than I've been training. No, you're not going to do that. But if you've got a bunch of goals to reach that point, then yeah, absolutely you can get there. But you just have to be realistic and plan it out correctly. Don't just go out and go, I'm going to be awesome because I've done a bit of training. Well, yeah, you will be, but setting goals a bit realistic.
Break it down. Yeah, absolutely. And any other top tips that you'd give to someone just starting out in the sport?
Yeah, actually, not another tip. For me, also the most important part is the consistency. Like, it's very important to have a basic week where you know when you swim, when you run, and when you bike. And if you do big sessions, hold back, because it's important to be able to train the next day. You can't just train on Sunday and then be flat for the entire week. You have to train on Monday again. So consistency is the most important part. And I tell myself often when I do hard sessions, be patient and don't be a patient, because often in my past I got injured because I trained too hard, too much maybe, and that took like 2 weeks off my preparation. And it's better to do one training less, but do it consistently over a long period of time. So consistency again, although it sounds boring, it's the most important part.
Yeah, and with careful progression.
Yes.
It sounds like, so that you're not trying to push the body.
As
too
Charlie
hard, too
said, small
fast.
steps to the big goal.
Perfect. Great. We've got a lot of, obviously, in your events, so in Ironman distance racing, nutrition is absolutely key. So we just want to draw out a couple of top tips that around the idea of nutrition or hydration, again for people just starting out in the sport. So is there anything that you've learned about nutrition that you think is fundamental to success, both at iron distance, but also maybe sprint distance and in novice events, Charlie?
So I got into racing Ironman distance. I did my first one last year. So it was a real difference, a step up in sort of what sort of things make you, how you work. Having raced, I think the last thing I raced before that was probably like the Ironman, the 70.3 World Champs in Vegas, where I got away with maybe having like 2 gels or 3 gels for the entirety of the race. You just can't do that for Ironman distance racing because you will get found out. So there's very much you have to work out what it is, what nutrition you need, and practice doing it, but also work out what works for you, what nutrition works for you. So whether some people can digest stuff, carbohydrate more quickly than others. I found that I couldn't digest a lot of carbohydrate and take a carbohydrate drink. I would have to have an isotonic drink. So just sort of electrolytes, just try and balance things out. Because there's a lot of stuff going on in your body. If you try and put too much in there too quickly, equally it will fail. So it's a careful balance, and you've got to figure that bit out in training as well. Because you can't just turn up in a race and expect to just crack on and hope that you're going to eat and drink whatever you need. You've got to practice it.
Yep, practicing training is key, certainly. Maybe, Declan, any day-to-day nutrition tips that you could bring? So outside of actual racing, how do you manage your nutrition from day to day?
I think preparation's key, because ultimately, if you're training, particularly for long distance, you're tired all the time, and it's very easy if you're coming home from work, or if you've done a session, in the morning, to grab the sweets or the candy or whatever's in front of you, as opposed to something that will help and maintain and progress your body for the next session. So in your weekly shop, make sure you've got the things that you think are necessary to keep you working hard and recovering also. And I often see the cupboards of somebody who is serious about triathlon, full of crisps and chocolate and whatever. It's not going to work. It's not going to make you a better triathlete. So if you make a simple question before every food choice, will this make me a better athlete? And if it's no or yes, you usually know the answer. Well, then there you go.
Yeah, you become what you eat. So
well, yeah.
do you want to be?
I guess, yeah. In terms of athletic performance, sure.
You enjoy it though.
Absolutely. Let's
still be fun.
We've got to have a blip. I mean, we've got to have a pizza now and every second Thursday perhaps. No. But Charlie's right. But ultimately, you know, if your goal is to be a better triathlete, then you should make better food choices.
Great.
Preparation is key to that.
And Alain, any other top tips that you'd like to bring out for those watching at home?
For the race or beforehand?
Any, the things that you think that are most...
Probably the most important aspect of the race is what you eat beforehand. So don't experiment with stuff you have never eaten before. I think it's also, like Charlie said again, that you have to practice your nutrition for race day, because your body can only handle stuff that you know it can handle. So I always do at least one session where I have nearly the same nutrition I have on the race day, so I know how my gut is responding, and I know that I won't have issues on the day itself. So again, practice and see what happens to your body when you use certain gels or certain bars or drinks.
Okay.
And maybe one important thing also when you race long distance races, use if you don't bring your own gel, use in training the gels the organizer of the triathlon provides, because sometimes you can get quite surprised what kind of gels and what stuff is offered.
Yeah, we're very good as triathletes in the hard, sexy, sweaty stuff, but you know, like everything else, we have to train our gut, as Alan said, and you see it repeatedly at the end of every long to middle distance race where people are suffering simply because of gut issues, and most probably they haven't trained with what they're ingesting on the day. So.
Yep. That's great, guys. Thank you. It seems to me that if we were to summarise, we would say that planning and preparation with our nutrition are key. So that's really helpful. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
much for your time. Great. Cheers.